Hey folks, tipping back because it is the final last call of the regular season. I'm Matt Doyle, joined by Nick Rosano. We're going to count down the weekend's top 5 games, starting at number 5, a potential Western Conference final preview. It's RSL host Vancouver.
Maybe a potential Western Conference final preview. Two teams really in need of some momentum. RSL coming off that very disappointing Champions League result in midweek. Vancouver having dropped a 1-0 home loss to Portland last weekend. And this will be an interesting matchup, and I think one that looks like Vancouver might actually be able to get something out of it just because of RSL's midweek exertions, because of the questions surrounding injury to defenders. But on the other hand, RSL, they're a team that we know what they offer. They keep the ball. They have two dangerous strikers in Fabian Espindal and Alvaro Saborio. And given the way that the Caps have played in the last few weeks, it's just they really need the momentum going into a very difficult knockout game against LA in the midweek.
And this one will be Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on MLS Live.
At number 4 on our list, the final game of the regular season, the LA Galaxy hosts Seattle.
And Seattle have hosed the Galaxy this year. 2-0 the first game, 4-0 the second game. They'll obviously want to keep that going for the third matchup of the season, and here's why. If Seattle win and DC United doesn't win, Seattle gets the number 3 overall spot in the standings. And then, if either San Jose or Kansas City make it to the MLS Cup final, then Seattle gets one of the CONCACAF Champions League berths. It's very complicated, but it's exactly how RSL got in this year. So there is plenty at stake for Seattle, not just the number 2 seed in the Western Conference, but that spot in continental competition. For LA, there is absolutely nothing at stake. I expect Bruce Arena to put out somewhat less than 100% lineup. Landon Donovan says he's going to play. I would be surprised if it's more than 15 minutes, especially because they have that midweek game against Vancouver coming up.
And you can catch that one on Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, and there'll be a live chat on MLSsoccer.com.
And number 3 on our list, an Eastern Seaboard matchup between Philadelphia and New York, and they're going to try to sneak this one in before Hurricane Sandy hits.
And Philadelphia out of the playoff race, but you know they're going to want to spoil the Red Bulls' party. If New York don't win on Saturday, that means they will have to play in the knockout round. And even though Thierry Henry says, oh, maybe it won't be so bad, you can bet they'd like that whole week of rest before the playoffs. And for Philadelphia, they look like a team that's really constructed that can beat New York. They have been looking very good in the past few months. Jack McInerney's been in great form. Only the woodwork denied him his 5th straight goal-scoring appearance. And they have the pace on the flanks to really trouble New York, too. And for New York, it'll be really important to see how Thierry Henry and Kenny Cooper come out. They've been great against not-so-good teams. They've been not-so-great against good teams. Philadelphia has a pretty good set of central defenders, so that should be a matchup to watch.
And this one will get the weekend started at 1:30 p.m. Eastern on NBC on Saturday, and we'll have a live chat, a mega chat, on MLSsoccer.com.
At number 2 on our list, another game that will shape the Eastern Conference playoff picture, Chicago hosts DC United.
And of course, it could shape the CONCACAF Champions League picture as well for next year, because DC actually have the 3rd best record in the league right now. If they win, they finish with that. And then if San Jose or Sporting advance to the final, then DC gets the extra spot. Also, whoever wins this game gets the number 2 spot in the Eastern Conference. Also, Chicago can finish anywhere from 2 to 5 in the Eastern Conference. DC can finish anywhere from 2 to 4. There's a Rookie of the Year race to worry about. Nick DeLeon has 6 goals, 4 assists, been great all season for DC, except for when he's been hurt. Austin Berry has been the best rookie defender in the league, probably the front runner for Rookie of the Year. Been healthy all season, been a menace on restarts. A lot of stuff happening this one.
It should be a great matchup between 2 classic MLS franchises, and you can catch it on Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern on NBC Sports Network, and it will be part of our Mega Chat on MLSsoccer.com.
Mega Chat! And the number 1 game of the weekend, which has absolutely nothing to do with the standings, but it's Wondo going after the record. San Jose at Portland.
Wondo needs 1 goal to tie the record, 2 goals to break it. and you can bet that San Jose will be feeding him balls all game long. And the good news for San Jose, too, is that Alan Gordon is practicing, he's scrimmaging. He and Steven Lennart are the kind of guys that can really help Wondo find space.
And let's not forget, each of the last 2 years, he had a goal in his final game of the season. He had 2 goals against Portland last time out. So all signs point to a pretty explosive evening at Geldwine Field, and that one is going to be 6:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday on NBC Sports Network, and is the final entry in our mega chat on MLSsoccer.com. That'll do it for us. Guys, enjoy the final weekend of the regular season. Get your playoff hats on, and we'll see you Monday.